my experience as a camera pilot and shooting a lot of airplanes that I've done in my career, I find that for a video system, this is the best system that could be used. The lens capability on this is incredible, the simplicity of putting it together. It's so light that it allows this helicopter to maneuver. Just for me, it's a joy. I mean, this is what I love to do.
Well, one of the things a lot of people don't realize is how critical a good motion picture pilot is. You can get any number of really good camera guys that know these systems and know how to aim them and know how to keep them framed up and composed correctly. But unless he's got a pilot that sort of gets him in the right spot and brings the camera around when it needs to be brought around and knows the angles and knows the lighting and so forth, it's going to be a hell of a lot tougher to get a really good shot as it is with these guys that know what they're doing. I mean, it's a big, big difference.
So my job as the helicopter pilot and also as an aerial coordinator is to maneuver the helicopter in a position for our cameraman to shoot whatever extraordinary footage we can of these airplanes from various angles that we obviously can't get from the ground or from, from a crane. We are a moving, flying crane. We can adjust our height and altitudes and speeds and pick up some pretty interesting shots for these folks.
Max is going to be up front with you filming, and he will be an additional safety guy. If you feel like you're not knowing where things are, Max is very good with that. Tom is our safety officer on the tower. Lee Louderback will be with him, and we'll make all calls to Tom that we're maneuvering.
Oh, I'm loving it. Just loving it. Well, they're filming segments of their routine.
Well, we're basically the soft guys, so we're the safety guys observing from the ground, and which becomes a real important part in the debrief. And, setting spacing, looking at just the general flow and the general safety of everything.
Well, I'm kind of in Kevin's hands, so I just basically pan and tilt, and he moves me around to where I need to be. Less wind's always better for me, although this camera system can really handle any kind of vibration or any kind of bounce is just negated by this gyron system.
It's interesting because basically we don't have an HD camera in the sphere. What we have basically is a lens and a pickup chip. The camera itself, the camera body itself, is in the helicopter. That's one of the great things about this system.
The lens and the block of the camera are split, and they're the only thing that are gyro stabilized out in the ball. And they are actually floating in a magnetic field with gyros that react so quickly, they hold it in space. It's just it's an incredible tool. I have a console in here, so I'm viewing through a monitor, and I have full control, pan, tilt, got a paint box that I can paint the camera with. I've got a horizon axis that I can deal with. So I've got everything's on my fingertips.
Okay guys, here we go. Shut your radios off, stand by, and I'm climbing, and you can start anytime.
Some of the things that we look for when we're doing this kind of work, or that I'm looking for, and I try to relay to my aerial cameraman because he's busy looking in the lens. We're trying to show speed of the airplanes. We're trying to show the closeness with which these guys operate. They've been rehearsing forever, and they're a tremendously great formation act. But in order for us to do our job, what we're trying to do is find a number of things, light angles that will enhance the colors of the airplane and throw beautiful light on them, and at the same time give the audience a reference to how tight these guys work and the maneuvers they do close to the ground to perform in these airplanes. These are pretty extraordinary airplanes, these P-51 Mustangs. So we're trying to sell not only color and light and background and get a nice look of the airplane, but we're also, from our perspective, we're trying to sell speed. So what I'm looking for is some way to relay to my cameraman that I'm going to talk the airplane into a maneuver or a position that in the foreground or the background will accentuate the airplane's speed that it's traveling and the maneuvers that it does. We find the best way to highlight these airplanes. We're looking for glow, glints off the sun down the wings or over the canopies or backlight or silhouette. These are all the things that we take into consideration when people like this hire us to come down and shoot for them. We've been doing it for a long time.
The Horseman routine is the epitome of P-51 Mustang formation. And, you know, a lot of people fly the P-51 in formation, but then there's precision aerobatics. The Horseman routine pulls in closer to the Air Force Thunderbirds, the Snowbirds, the Blue Angels of perfection of performance and bringing that performance in front of the crowd in the air show routine. And it's one of the things that just takes a lot of concentration, a lot of practice, and a lot of dedication to doing it not well, but doing it exceedingly well. And then you could throw on doing it exceedingly well repeatedly.